What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a Shudder original film. And as most of you out there know, Shudder is a streaming service solely dedicated to the horror genre. And I've been a huge fan of Shudder for many years now. I've been a subscriber for a very long time. And unfortunately, Shudder has given us a lot of horrible original films this year. I'm normally a huge fan of what they put out, but the selection this year has been really bad. Other than Influencer, there really hasn't been much released on their platform that has interested me as far as the originals are concerned. And the movie I'm going to be discussing today, I knew absolutely nothing about. I just went in, clicked on it, found out later that the director, I had actually seen her short film and also her film Glorious that was released on the platform. Thought it was fun and enjoyable. Nothing super impressive. It was a good time. But knowing that she had created quality work in the past, I was excited to watch this movie because it's based on something that's very interesting. And the film I'm going to be discussing today is Elevator Game. Elevator Game is directed by Rebecca McKendry. Follows socially awkward teenager Ryan, who discovers that the night his sister disappeared, she had played the Elevator Game, a ritual conducted in an elevator in which players attempt to travel to another dimension using a set of rules that can be found online. Ignoring warnings, he resolves to follow and find her. So, as I said, very excited to watch this movie, was really interested with the premise, looking forward to checking it out. And this is definitely going to make my list as one of the worst movies I have watched this year. It is absolutely abysmal in every way. I really don't have a lot of positive things to say about it, which is unfortunate because whenever I watch a Shudder original film, I always take into context the budget. These are normally indie filmmakers trying to put a project out there. But after watching Glorious and seeing Rebecca McKendry's work and how that movie was paced, the style, the structure, she is very capable of creating interesting and engaging art, and this feels like a downgrade in every single way. So the plot description is very interesting because the film kind of delivers that to you in a secret way. We're introduced to this reality online YouTube TV show that they go to these haunted locations and play these games. It's this group of incredibly douchey kids that constantly make horrible decisions. Their dialogue at the beginning of the film kind of shows you just how obnoxious they all are, and we're introduced to each one of them. They're having this meeting because they have this new sponsor that they just got, and they didn't do a good job advertising the sponsor, and the sponsor's threatening to pull all their funding, and so they have to get a video together really quick. Well, they're introduced to this new kid who shows up. He comes in and introduces himself, and shortly after, he's like, hey, we should go to this abandoned business building because there's this thing called the Elevator Game. And that's when we find out that his sister had played that game and that she disappeared, and that he's going to do this to try and find her. So the film is this group of kids on this reality show playing this elevator game to see whether or not it's real, and when you play it, if this woman shows up and tries to kill you and takes you into this other world. So, a couple of things. First off, this movie has horrible pacing. It's absolutely terrible. The movie's like hour and a half, hour and 40, sometime in that time frame, and it is so bloated and bland. You actually get elongated sequences of people going floor to floor with no tension, no suspense. They don't do a good job building up to a scary payoff. It's just like click the button, go up, some stupid line of dialogue, and you're just watching it almost in real time in a way that is so uneventful and so bland. Secondly, the performances in this thing. This feels like if Disney Channel made a horror movie, like a Disney Channel original horror movie. These kids' performances are so inauthentic and so corny. The line delivery feels like people reading off of a piece of paper to the point where you kind of just have your hand on your head, like, what is going on here? And there's not any moments that it gets any better. I mean, when you think about the lead character and the fact that he's lost his sister because she's played this game and he's trying to find her, you'd think that that would give some level of emotional stakes to where you would feel really invested. And it's just, there's nothing there because his performance is so flat and uninteresting. You just don't care. And then when you're finally delivered what the game is all about in this very long-winded expositional way, it turns into the most formulaic cliche horror movie of the girl with the long hair over her face contorting her body, running all over the place, crawling on the ground. We've seen this 100 million times in a movie, and I'm fine if you want to do it, but try to do something inventive with it. When it's just you enter a world that's like red skies and like it's the same place except with a poorly done CGI skyscape, there's nothing really interesting about that. You've just jumped into the same cliche of every horror movie that's already existed before this. And I just watched Gore Verbinski's The Ring remake, and I'm just like, oh, another version of trying to do that again. And I don't know, I just look for something so much more in these. The cinematography was relatively uninterested. It was edited okay, I guess. I mean, it's not like the most miserable thing in the world, but like I need something more from a movie than just like bland, boring, recycled ideas, especially with something this interesting. I mean, the story behind how this game was invented and why people do it, it's really fascinating. And I think in the hands of someone else, it could have been a way better film. But because this has like the production quality of a Disney Channel original movie, it just provides no horror. I mean, there's like multiple attempts at jump scares, but like a loud noise can make anybody jump. When there's no atmosphere or ambiance or anything to kind of set the mood to really scare you, it's just a miserable experience. And I would not recommend this movie to anyone. It's not worth your time. It's not worth sitting through. There are a million horror movies out there that are way better than this one. So have you seen Elevator Game? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was terrible. I really found no redeeming qualities in this one, and I think you should just skip it. As always, if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.